Welcome to the next video in the series. In this one we will be adding the switch that we configured in the previous video and actually adding it to the monitoring and talking about what happens when you add a new node into NetXMS, what options should you choose and adjust for the new node which you are adding. So in the previous video we configured an HP switch with a SNMP community. So let's add it to NetXMS. Click on Infrastructure Services, create new node, and give it a name and its IP address. Since this is an HP switch and it doesn't have the NetXMS agent, I will disable the NetXMS agent for this node and only leave SNMP enabled. And you can now see the switch is added to Infrastructure Services with a little question mark, which simply means that NetXMS is currently polling and discovering the node. In the next video we will talk about all the poll types and what they do and what happens during each poll. But for now we simply need to know that NetXMS is discovering everything that's on that node. So the discovery just finished for me. It was about 20 seconds for NetXMS to fully poll this node. So what actually happens during the node addition is that NetXMS will try discovering the node's properties and the node's interfaces and everything else with either the NetXMS agent, if the node has the NetXMS agent enabled for it. Of course, it may fail if it doesn't have the proper password for the NetXMS agent, etc. And then it will try to discover the node using all of the configured SNMP communities and version 3 username password combinations which we provided. If SNMP responds, NetXMS will actually go ahead and fully discover this node using SNMP or the NetXMS agent. So what's actually being discovered? First of all of the interfaces on the node will be present. All of the IP addresses the node actually contains on any of its interfaces will be added into NetXMS, and basically NetXMS will just completely go over all of the networking that is available on the node. So if I click on this HP switch and go to interfaces, you can see that I have a bunch of interfaces which are actually present on that switch. I can already see their status, if they are up, down, etc. And if I go into the alarm browser, I can see that I already have some alerts simply by adding the node. This is because when a new node is added into NetXMS, all of its interfaces are discovered and NetXMS already starts to monitor them and expects the interfaces to be up. On this particular switch, as you can see, most of the interfaces are down because I don't have anything connected to this switch. I only have a few interfaces up here. So that's why I'm already getting alerts about those interfaces being down when they are expected to be up. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of the interfaces which are currently down, and I am actually going to set them to ignore, which means that NetXMS will not alert me if the interface is up or down or anything else. And actually this interface as well, interface 12, if I sort by interface index, I also just want to ignore this interface. So change expected state, ignore. So why am I doing all of this? Let's refresh the window. I know that interface 1 is supposed to be up because that's my switch uplink. And actually these interfaces are SFP interfaces, which I don't have any GBIGs in them, so I know these are supposed to be down. So right now I have 1, 2, 3 interfaces which I'm expecting to be up, 4 interfaces which I'm expecting to be down, and the rest of the interfaces are being ignored. And that's just what NetXMS is going to do. If any of the interfaces is in a state other than expected, and I can see the state up here, operational state, it's going to alert me. But I still have the previous alarms from the interfaces being down when they should be up. But since I've already changed the expected state, I can just terminate these alarms because I just don't care about them. But there is a few other things which actually happen during the node addition, as I mentioned, because multiple polls are being executed on the node, and we are going to talk about those in the next video and what each poll actually does to the node. So if anytime in the future you want to change how this node is handled by NetXMS, you simply go to properties and you can see in communication if it's using the agent with a certain secret, what version of SNMP with what community or username password this particular node is being polled with, and you can change all the polling types here. So you can disable SNMP or the agent as we did for the server machine, If you just really fast want to know what this node uses and what it is, there is a capabilities table, and this table will actually tell you what NetXMS knows about this node. For example, is SNMP enabled for this node? You can see yes. Is agent, NetXMS agent enabled for this node? You can see no, since this is a HP switch, and there is no way for me to install the NetXMS agent on this switch. That's it for this video. In the next one we are going to look at objects and the organizational structures for objects within NetXMS.